Good afternoon, everyone. I jumped the gun a little bit because I felt that I was tired of watching numbers countdown. So I've
But Brad, do you know how to count down though, like correctly and all that?
not really.
Not really.
I've got my name at the top because I still can't. No one's told me how to take that out, and I'm just gonna leave it in because
Perfect. This is a perfect fail-proof plan.
what are we working on today? Because I've even made myself every week. I've made myself even smaller in the corner, and today is the ultimate tininess of Brad. We've got
So,
giant Brandon doing something.
I mean, these dreadnoughts are literally taller than you. I want to make sure everyone can see how large these dreadnoughts are in comparison to Brad.
I mean,
So,
I'm like a gun. Is that a ballistas?
it is Melissa.
Can I borrow these?
Um, maybe. So what I've been a little uninspired by Space Marines recently. So in order to try to encourage myself to like wanting to play the new codex, I've just been on a building spree of all the Space Marine models. And then this morning I realized that I've built so many Space Marines that I need to build 97 bases for them. So today I'm going to be working on some bases for my Space Marine army.
I like what you're saying. You should be painting these dreadnoughts so that I could use them when I go to San Diego.
I don't know. Last time I heard you flew an army, it didn't go too well.
Look, man, that was a checked army. Thank you very much. Because he gave me a goddamn moon unit backpack that they laughed at me when I tried to take on the phone. That's a real thing, by the way. The lady legitimately laughed. I was just like, no, that's not going on the plane. You were going in checked. And I was like, I think this might get destroyed. It didn't on the way there, but on the way back, it stopped at a Kumite. So,
Poor Lyle. At least his Tau is getting back together slowly but surely.
and he played it this weekend.
Yeah, but they didn't. Were they completely built and fixed and
Oh, they were
everything?
totally fine. We could rebuild them. It was $6 million man stuff. Is anybody even old enough to know what that reference is? We can rebuild
Uh,
him better than before.
are we talking about like the '90s reboot? No, like
Absolutely not. I'm going Lee Majors or nothing.
Lee Majors or nothing.
This is happening. But I've been making so many Marine lists, and unlike you and your communist Tau mojo, is
Oh, I'm loving the Tau. By the way, I'm playing Tau this weekend probably just because they're so much fun to play,
they also have all of the guns.
and they have all the maneuverability, all the trash, all the tanks. Like whatever you want to do with Tau, you can do it.
I was really surprised over the weekend. I mean, obviously, I was surprised that freaking Sisters won the goddamn Tampa. But the bigger thing was I was surprised at the low numbers of Eldar in town, which I still think are just the top armies.
Well, I think at Tampa they're using the GW format terrain, and sometimes there's just some hard counters.
I don't know, it's just it feels to me that like between the fact that Tau, like a Tau build that I had that Lyle brought over the weekend that I made was just triple Piranha, double was it? I can't remember if it was double or single. Crude Hound, triple Piranha,
Pretty sure single.
single, and then double stealth suit for your all your trash needs. But then it had just like death for days. Triple Skyray, double six man. You know, it's just that's so much damage, dude. You know what I mean? Just right there. Uh-oh. Mano coming with $5 super chat. So, great meta? Question. Or greatest meta? Sorry, Drakari. Game feels like it's in the best spot it's been in for years. You know what? I have to give it to GW because 10th edition came out like a big fucking floating turd. And then they did the data slate, and they have literally, I think they've hit it out of the park with the two codexes.
Well, they've had to do two double or two data slates.
Two data slates, yes. Two.
Yeah.
Well, the first one didn't count. It was like nothing. But they've put out two codices so far that are very versatile, have a lot of armies. None of them feel OP, and all of them feel very tournament worthy.
They
So
just feel bland. You don't get you can't build any really interesting lists anymore with Space Marines.
I don't believe that. You're because you're interesting is like what you meant to say was I can't build bikes. So many
Oh,
bikes.
you can't. It's
And
impossible.
that's literally where you are right now.
Space Marine bikes are literally the worst unit in the Codex.
Oh, Dorian, yes. A double Tetra. 100%. I was just going to go. The two units of Tetras are just are assumed in the tile list. They're so broken. Uh,
They're not broken. They're fun.
Full rerolls, no cover saves.
Yeah,
What did you have to do to get that done? Yeah, I looked at them.
yeah.
It
While
was,
doing it, while doing an action.
yeah. Ooh. Touted well, but have some real hard matchups in the donut terrain. I could see that on that, but I just think that they have great crossfire lanes. And the thing is that you have to push out. You use your screens to keep people at bay a little bit, get that extra turn to shoot, and basically you shift your army so that you're coming from two flanks on GW terrain. And then you basically can just shoot into the middle and you just leave the middle alone as far as bodies on it. You don't put bodies ever in the middle with your tile on the GW terrain. You just put them on the flanks and you just shoot into the middle.
What about for like the silly missions? Because they were doing like servo skulls and
That's the only thing is they did servo skulls and ritual back to back, which I thought was bonkers. And I do think Tau suffered quite a bit on those missions. I don't know as much on the ritual. I mean,
the rituals are what they created the objectives, right?
right. And I think
I mean, I had a
them.
Crutox create 5 of them when I
Right.
played against Use It Last.
And then, but the thing is, the servo skills are fucked. Like if somebody goes first and starts punting them away,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that mission's also trash, by the way. Sorry, but it just is.
I've never actually played that mission.
Oh, Peaches Destroyer coming to $2 super chat. Interesting, you say. Pace Space was like me and Brad win? Yeah, baby.
Brad called me super excitedly on Monday. He's like, I am now the best Space Wolves player in the world.
Nope, I said I'm the best Orcs player. I was
And Space Wolf
already the
players.
best Space Wolves player.
He was super excited.
I am. I want to go for a third faction now.
I think that's what we should talk about today is what's Brad's third faction?
I'm gonna play. I told you I played Marines, so I'm not. I can't renege on our bet. You know what I mean? I said I would take Marines to the next big tournament I'm doing because I may have talked much shit about it.
You're going to be so disappointed. I am so ready for you to eat your words. You have to win that event with Space Marines.
It's a big event too. Oh God.
I think you're going to be resoundingly disappointed.
Evan coming in.
Well,
Will this Qatari stealth horde be competitive? I'm gonna go real quick to the wall, then I'm gonna come back to my list. I think it's already competitive. I just think it's will murder your soul moving that many models. But like you can just dominate the middle. And yeah. Why is Brad's photo in here life size? Because it's a hobby stream and I wanted to give Brandon the amount of space for people to actually see what the fuck he's doing. Because
I'm still waiting for Brad to paint a Space Marine with me or Captain Badrock.
I already painted a guy. KR has him.
You painted that, but at Michigan GT, you're like, oh, we're gonna paint. And instead, we just went drinking till 2 a.m.
That is not my fault. You guys drove. I was 100% on painting Badrock, and you guys kidnapped me.
Oh, kidnapped you
and made me drink alcohol.
We made you. I just want to point out that you were already at the bar. I did not drive you to the bar.
How did I get there?
The guy you were doing jujitsu with was like, "Hey,
yeah.
we're taking you to the bar."
I mean, if you're gonna dump me somewhere, I feel that that's the best place.
Yeah, I mean, we were able to find you. You were talking to some interesting woman at the bar.
Oh, Jesus.
Who was telling you about sports betting and how like
that was the best. I was trying to wingman for Butters, and wow, that became crazy.
And then she went to the bar the next day.
Why did I think that the cork bits were chicken nuggets when I looked at them? That's Brandon's secret to keep the cost down.
I don't see Crew Tau. Uninterested. I was thinking about painting some more Crew Tau today.
Oh, Matt coming in with a super chat. I'll sell you an indulgent to renege on the Space Marine promise. You were born to play Space Dwarves with all the trash plus 30 murdernators. I will bring Votan to a tournament in the next month also. How about that? I'll do both.
All right.
I will continue to keep yelling random bets into the sky and try to make them work.
So what is the Bradchester tournament schedule?
I'm going to, now that they've hooked me up, I'm basically trying to bum a flat from the XPC gentlemen. So they're taking care of my mojo. I already had a plane ticket from a while back, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Because I booked, and that's literally the first thing that I did like months ago. Because Corrales for XPC said, hey, support my tournament. So I was like, no problem. You know, it's their first one that they're running. First big one that they're running, I guess. And I was like, cool. And I did this like a million years ago. So I'm going to that on the 3rd. Then I'm going to go to, as long as everything goes well for Rumble, I will be at Rumble.
So far, they've sold 29 tickets.
Well, I double booked as usual because I'm a child and I don't use the calendar that you gave me.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, I had 3 events that I was going to go to on the 11th.
You were going to go the one in North Carolina, the one in Fort Wayne.
Yeah, and then one other one. I can't remember what else. But I still have a ticket to go down to North Carolina.
You should raffle it off.
It's a plane ticket.
Oh. I mean, you could raffle that off, but that seems like a lot of money.
That is true. I feel like I'd rather just take the credit and move on with my life. But then I'm going to Everwinter with the Rhinoceros Rex.
And when's that?
December 3rd, I think. Okay. I'm almost positive. And then I have to decide whether I'm going to the World Championships or I'm going to Du Bois, and I'm probably going to Du Bois.
So what's Crawley doing? Isn't he going to the championships?
He's going to the championships.
Yeah.
I'm debating on it, but it's like I have that's a lot of events for me, and I've been semi falling apart. So I don't want to go full stress all over the place. And it doesn't make that much difference for my overall, like if I'm trying to do an ITC win or anything, I still have to win or second at ITC anyways. You know what I mean? Or sorry, at LVO to make any difference.
So Eloise and I were chatting about it. Not that I have a ticket, but I came pretty close to winning the ticket like 3 times now. Like I'm always like the 2nd or 3rd away from getting the ticket.
I lied. It's December 8th, 9th, 10th.
But
literally it's just the Rhinoceros Rex telling me how it is.
With that GW event, I'm curious as to what it is, but I don't actually want to play. Like I just want to like roll on in and be like, hey, what is this event actually about? Because the publicity has been so terrible on it. Like I have no idea what they're actually doing at that event.
Which one?
The GW one, the championship.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's supposed to be like multi-day kind of thing. It's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I want to know. Is it about? Like, is it like
I have no idea.
Like, are we just playing fun, friendly games? Are we like?
I feel
is this a super serious tournament that people are going to be way too serious about it?
That is true. Matt's got a point on this. The grand narrative actually sounds way more fun. Man, I would like to start playing more narrative events, to be honest with you. That might be something I get into more in the coming years. Because narrative play is awesome.
Only if you tell the story, though.
Yeah, so you have to have a good person like playing fucking games like a DM and shit like that. You know what I mean? You have to have somebody that's tells a good story. You know what I mean? It has good rules. You also have people that are willing to play because you're playing in unfair scenarios. You know what I mean? Because of the way the scenarios are. Like there's a lot of times where you're just playing super uphill. You know what I mean? So,
and that's why. Well, besides the narrative, I just want to know what the single player event's all about. The championship, like what exactly does it entail? What are they looking for? Because you can't give people who are hobbyists and people who are top tier tournament gamers, put them in the same event and expect not skewed results.
Did I tell you when they did that to the creators and the top players when we did laser tag? Oh, it was fantastic. So they split all of the hardcore players, and then they had all the hardcore painters and stuff. You know, they split the content people up.
Yep.
And then we played on laser tag teams, and of course, all the hardcore gamers used every trick in the book to try to make sure we won the laser tag. Like, who saw that coming? We're like,
No one.
this is an exploit. We're definitely going to use it.
We'll put a big mic in front. He could block all the bullets for everybody.
Loving it. Two, going back to the Votan thing, both Anna and Todd have both been sending me all the Votan stuff, and we've been going over it. I could play some Votan. You know what? I'll go Marines, Votan, and I think maybe back to Marines. We'll see how much fun I have playing Marines at San Diego.
All right, so Marines for the vet in California.
Yep.
Votan for Fort Wayne.
Well,
and then that's it.
And then I got to figure out what else I'm playing.
Okay. And then what do you want to fly up to the Northeast about with?
Oh, I'll just make it. I'm gonna do the same thing I did last year.
Borrow an army?
No, Brian provides me with an army, but he gives me all the models, but he also gets to make the list, so I don't know what I'm playing until I get there. I just
you're totally playing like some sort of Horde Tyranid army.
So, like last year, I played his Tyranids, and he made me play a Toxicrane and other shit. It was fantastic. So I could get down with that.
All right.
Now it just looks like you have a plate of cinnamon.
Yeah, pretty much. A little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, and some Barbie sugar.
There's the use of the other weapons on the Grav besides Grav and the Thunderkin. There's a reason to take beams. They have sustained. They've also got big damage. I prefer the Grav as the safe pick. You're never wrong with Grav. Grav works well on everything. The beams can do bigger damage. The beams can spike bigger because they have the potential for more damage, and they also have the sustain hits. So that's the reason to talk about beams. But as a whole, the safe bet is always Grav. It's just a good profile, and it's Grav.
Yep. So let's talk about this amazing Space Marine list that you were going to go to California and dominate everybody with.
Well, I'm losing my shit about it though, but I think that I've settled on a Dark Angels version of Vanguard. And so I'm gonna take the Ancient, Terminator Ancient, a 5-man Death Company, a Death Wing Command Squad, because
do you have this typed up at all?
Yeah.
Why don't you throw it up on the main screen?
Well, it's so many different versions of it.
Well, we could talk about them all.
Hold on. Because I lost my mind and put Repulsor Executioners in like one of them. So, game capture properties, capture specific window. Now I got to drag this to the top. Hold, please. I'm totally making this work. All right. Now, thus and henceforth, this is not showing up. Nothing to see here, everyone. Nothing to see here.
I can't tell what you're doing, so I'm just going,
Yeah. Full screen application. Trying to make this work, but I have this slave to Brandon already. Brandon, you've got it slaved.
Aha.
Yeah, I don't know why this is showing up. This is making me mad now. Well, it should just show up because it's right here. Right here. I know you guys are thinking, what? This Tech Master Brad isn't figuring this out immediately? Hard to imagine.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I'll respond to some of the comments. So I use Gorilla Glue when building models and when working on bases and various other projects. I feel like it works very well for the price. It doesn't dry super quick. You can adjust with it, play around with it, try to get that right position. it also works with accelerant. So I've had zero issues with it, and it's readily available at most hardware stores. And heck, I actually get it from the grocery store most of the time because it's the cheapest price at the grocery store.
Boom!
Did you figure it out?
Bradchester genius. What? You're not agreeing with my genius?
No, I'm just waiting for the list up here.
Look, man, I don't want to hear these negative Nancy.
There we go. All right. I see Centurion Devastators.
Yes. Sean,
All right.
this is a Sean Rice thing.
Okay.
Sean literally had me put those bad boys in there, and I don't hate them. Because I'm going to run this in Vanguard. So let me run down the things that are staying in for sure. The Repulsed Executioners will probably go out. I think that I got high on life or something with that, but
They just seem very expensive for what they actually do.
they've got a lot of guns. So effectively what happens is Ancient and Terminator armor goes in the Deathwing Command Squad, and they become a OC-18. And he can forward deploy. You don't get all up in somebody's shit. You basically take the board and just go. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. I mean, you know what? I want my face here. I want to be in the thing.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. So you basically, they take a neutral, one of the neutrals, the best play, basically wherever the best piece of terrain is, you know what I mean, to hide, and you jam there. The Librarian and Phobos goes with the Infiltrators, and you can do a lot of bullshit with that unit, because people can't deep strike within 12 of you, which means they can't shoot you because you've also got Shrouded. So it becomes like you can do stuff in the middle for a turn or two and make people commit things they don't want to commit. And then the Lieutenant with Combat Weapon is just an auto pick because that dude's just fucking bonkers. I don't understand how that happened. Lieutenants are like meh, and then you get this freaking Rambo idiot murder facing shit. He's lone operative. He picks an objective on the board and everybody rerolls ones in it. Does he need range? No, it's just he needs to not die. So everybody's does anybody standing on the objective rerolls ones to him. He's got a feel no pain. He's stealth. It's just crazy.
Well, he also went to like being anti-infantry or whatever instead of anti-Tyranid where it was before. So,
yeah,
so fucking random.
That dude has like literal Bonkerstown shit. So the Oath nerf it doesn't bother me as much because I haven't been playing them with the Oath regular on them. So I've been planning this the whole time. So the Centurion Devastators come in and they're expensive, but they have 3 las cannon shots and their missile shots, and the las cannon shots are twin linked. So, and you can also pop the strat on them, so they can be hitting it +1 and have another pip of AP. And because of the fact of Vanguard making everything -1 to hit and counting as in cover, those dudes have a 2-up save, -1 to hit and cover. No fire strikes. There will never be fire strikes, KR. But you just re-roll the wound on those guys. They just get through a lot. They're really good for picking up the hard shit. You know what I mean? So the other thing is then you've got triple Inceptors. I think Inceptors are just bonkers right now. Got a $110 for 3. Now I've got 336. The 6-man will probably actually become a Plasma Inceptor unit because of the fact that then it gives me options to kind of shoot shit that I shouldn't be shooting because they're twin linked. You know what I mean? Now,
yeah, I mean, not only are they twin linked, but the extra AP and Armor of Contempt meta kind of helps.
Right. Well, you can also pop the strat, and you got to figure that because you're showing up at 3, and also this is me thinking of San Diego on this. They've got some taller terrain, so I can actually jump in next to people 3 inches away and use plunging fire and pop the strat kind of thing. You know what I mean? So I can get like 6 inches up.
So you can get them like AP5.
Right. Well, you can get the regular bolters AP3.
Yeah.
Because AP1 regular, AP2 from plunging fire, AP3 from the strat, and then I'm hitting on deuces. Yeah, I mean, so if you put like an O target on that, you're just re-rolling. It's nuts. So Infiltrators obviously go with the Phobos. I always need trash, which is why the 2 scouts. It's hard for me right now not to love on the Ballistus Dreadnoughts at 140 points. It's especially in Vanguard, they're going to be -1 to hit. They're going to be in cover all the time. And
Well, there's a reason why I'm building two.
yeah, I
At
mean,
140 points, they're really solid.
it's
When
just
they were 170, it was
oh no, they were. It's like at 140. I don't even like them that much. It's just that at that price point, I love them. Now the executioners. Now the executioners are something that I don't think are going to make it, but maybe. But those guys, this has fucking fuck all, holy shit amounts of shooting. They have the two big guns, of course, and then they have 30 something trash shots ranging anywhere from strength 8 to strength 4. You know what I mean? And the bigger thing on it is the defensive profile is T12 with 16 wounds.
Mhm.
So it's one of those maybe. Now, you got to figure if I don't take those, I can go back to my original whirlwind thoughts. Like, here, I'll kill these.
So are you starting to move away from the Devastator squads?
But no, it's just I had to make shit fit. You know what I mean? And if I was doing the those squads, because then I can put back in the dev squads if I do that. But I don't want to lose too much straight shooting on this. So like if I put in double whirlwind, which I do love double whirlwind quite a lot because it takes out the trash. Yeah, it also lets you play Purge the Foe better. Brad does, especially if he's playing fucking Space Souls. Oh god. Screw you, Sam Dayton. That's totally why I took those suppressors.
I'm actually going to be building suppressor bases after knowing these dreadnought ones.
So if I put back in the whirlwinds, I lose more big damage. So then I either have to put in more ballistas or basically swap these out and take 2 lancers, which is also a thing, which would basically put me in 1990. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the whirlwinds are fantastic. Especially they just went down in points, and they have a marine killing profile. You can decimate some trash.
Yeah, the problem is somebody just sets, you know, because the problem is when you're building a list, you always have to look at, I want the most efficiency, yes. I want things that can score, yes. I want move blocking, yes. But you also have to have enough damage where someone can't damage check you. So I don't want to have like rando Tyranids push up a billion big bucks. You know what I mean? Do I have enough if someone tries to jam Firestorm, not Firestorm, a Stormlance, or infiltrates a huge unit of big things? You know what I mean? I need enough damage to pick that up. Whirlwinds don't really help with that. The Repulsor Executioners and the Ballistics do. So it depends on what my damage is on that. Like Executioners do have a 10-minute shooting phase KR, like 100%, because they're all different, which is super annoying. But it is a lot.
I totally just impaled myself, by the way.
You know what? I'm switching back to you.
Don't. I'm currently holding my hand because I impaled myself.
Well,
So what weapons are you thinking about for the scout squads? Just a missile launcher?
no, I'm gonna go shotguns, missile launcher, and probably a sniper.
What's the profile of a shotgun now?
I don't care. I want them to be advanced and shoot. It's just strength 4, 18 inches, 2 shots, strength 4.
You're assuming they have the salt keyword.
Well, yeah, because it says assault keyword on it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think you have play. So
I can advance and still do an action.
do you think taking another or making the Deathwing command squad larger would be worthwhile?
It's just too easy to block. Like the problem is like when you look at those matches that I was just talking about, if you're playing Tyranids, for instance, you would just wrap it twice with 10 gargoyles and it would go nowhere. Or guardsmen or whoever, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? You could fucking that unit would do so nothing. It would be so sad if I played like AdMech, because I would kill 10 Vanguard every turn. So I just don't, I mean, it has play. I've made multiple units that have 10 Deathwing command squads and a bro inside, and it's terrifying because they can just line up 9 inches away from you and just wreck shit. But I can also just get blocked, and I'm too worried about playing at the top tables and having somebody that has the option of doing that to me.
Yeah, I would totally just block you with some piranhas.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I can spend 2 turns just killing piranhas, basically, and scout squad or stealth teams. And then also, I don't
Take
really.
that.
And I also, and then you basically go, cool, you didn't go anywhere for 2 turns, and now you're going to accept full Kayan. How many 4-ups can you make? I hope it's all of them because you're going to be taking several. So my question on this is really, what do I want to finish out? Because I think I like the top quite a bit. I like the Ancient and the Deathwing Command Squad. Basically OC-18 feels fantastic infiltrating. Librarian of Phobos with infiltrators feels like he's got shenanigans for days, and I love shenanigans. Lieutenant Combat Weapon is an auto take because 70 points for 47 keywords is just good. And then Triple Inceptor is, you know what? I'm going to make these plasma. I'm thinking about making them plasma. Still twin linked. It's less shots. I don't know. I'm going 2-2, 3-3.
They lost the blast keyword on the plasma, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Just a lot less shots. They gained hazardous. I guess they always had hazardous.
They totally did. You used to murder that squad so fast.
Yes. But I like the Inceptors are staying in. The Scent Devs are a new ad that I'll have to test. Scouts are, I always need my trash, you know what I mean? It's just the bottom of the list. It's basically the vehicle part. You know what I mean? What am I using for damage? Double Ballistus, double Whirlwind, double Ballistus, double Repulsor Executioner. So that is really what I've
What
got.
about Redemptors? Are Redemptors still...
Say again?
What about
No.
Redemptors?
Redemptors just don't have the profile or the defensive profile for their points. Redemptor Dreadnought still just costs a lot. Redemptor Dreadnought's 200 points for less of a defensive profile and for less shots. I basically, for 20 more points, I get a million more shots. And it's also T12. You know what I mean? Versus T10 or 11. What is the Redemptor?
I think it's a 10 with a 2+ save.
T10 with a 2-up.
-1 damage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate him, but he just doesn't have that many guns. You know what I mean? Comparatively. So, maybe. I mean, the problem is that when I'm looking at Dreadnoughts, it's just hard for me not to just grab a Ballistus because, again, 60 points cheaper than the Redemptor.
What about, like, Eradicators?
I thought about that, but it's a different... Eradicators would be an off-board solution because I'd want to bring them in on reserves, and I need something that's on the board to take care of people rushing me and also to give downtown dedications. The problem is that you're getting into a game when you don't have downfield shooting and they do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Eradicators have a limited. They only have 18-inch guns, so they have to come in for reserves for me, and that's a later on snipe things. I need some onboard force. Also, I want to lean into the fact that Vanguard's giving me -1 to hit and that cover all the time. You know, so
I mean, I still kind of like aggressors with a list like this. I mean, the Terminators are filling that aggressor role, but
yeah, I've thought about that quite a bit. I actually made a list with Marnius Calgar, to be honest. With Calgar, a Biologist, and a 6-man aggressor squad. The Storm Strike speeders are actually really good also. It's again, I don't know if I'm getting enough bang for my buck because for what they do, I can get more from other outputs. It's just it's the defensive profiles, to be honest with you.
the speeders seem very overpriced for what they do.
Well, they're also T9, and that means that a lot of guns do things to them. Is there anything in the new Marines that's particularly scary for Tau?
I actually had this conversation with Justin yesterday, Justin Cook, who took a Mech Tau list. He's like, nothing in the Marine list scares me. The only thing I'd be slightly concerned about is the Vanguard attachment because of -1 to hit. And I've already started to incorporate guys who just ignore hit modifiers.
You get suits on them, or it was whatever it's called.
Yeah, the weapon support system.
Weapon support system.
Or whatever. I think there's one that allows you to fall back and shoot. There's one that allows you to ignore hit modifiers. And I took a unit of 3 crisis suits with Enforcer and the weapon support system, and they did some work. I mean, it takes like AP 4 weapons to get them up to a 5+ save, because they're getting cover all the time, and then they ignore a pip of AP.
With Marines versus Tau, though, I still think that you're going to have the issue with they can get up close and personal. You have to dig them out. Like that command squad's like a real annoying thing for you because I'm never going to move it. Especially if you, and this is again, I'm talking about player place terrains. I'm just going to put an L on an objective and I'm just going to jam them in there.
Yeah, then I just ignore it and take all the other objectives.
Yeah, but again, you have multiple guys that are lone operative. So,
But I also have to take Farsight and play super aggressively. So
fine. I'll punch you right in your face. Punch you right in that face of yours.
Farsight's got this.
I totally think you just need more damage, to be honest with you. I just don't know if the whirlwinds do it for me. I really like whirlwinds because I love indirect. But like, do they do enough damage? Yeah, I mean. Also,
Well, that's why I'm curious about how the losing reroll to wound impacts certain units because like
yeah,
Whirlwind's really benefited from that.
100%. I just don't know if they have the same damage potential without it. A good question, then, awesome. Uriel Vanguard bouncing Centurions every turn does sound meta defining. I literally looked at that. The only problem is I really like the Deathwing Command Squad. The other thing I was thinking about was if I didn't want the Lieutenant in combat armor, I could take a lone operative Talon Master. Yeah, I mean. But the Lib Dreadnought can fail because he has to roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only thing. Damn, working in the way of the rhinos work. Bullshit. True. Mando goes, sorry to ramble, but love the exorcist to make loose trash. So Necronosaurus feel unsafe. Imagine Whirlwinds could do the same thing. Yes. The problem is that right now I've got a lot of trash killing because of the fact that the Inceptors are magical at killing trash because you can't really block me out at 3-inch drops. But the problem is that I want some more actual big threats. Like if Tyranids just put big bodies on me, or if anybody Terminator spams me and stuff like that. That's true. Calgar fists are huge. How about the mini Marine decks cut out space with specific units from fake and generic characters now? Nobody can join Blood Calls, for instance, outside of space with specific characters. True story on that. It's weird in the first place that they don't have. I'm actually I like the Marine book quite a bit, but I am looking forward to chapter specific books. Yeah, exactly. The Mad Lamb with triple Dorans. Shit like that. Like I just need more damage. And this list right here does not have the ability to take out triple Norn, for instance.
Yeah, but what Space Marine list does?
The Centurion Devastators actually do a really good job of it. I pop that. They're AP4. They're putting everybody on their invul. And I'm
So
also
maybe you should consider taking some more Centurions.
ugh, that already hurts my solo buck 75. 3-0, very well. Well done. Getting Canis and 10 little boys because you wanted to use freedom to pound some people in the head. That's another thing. I want to make sure I have enough damage for tons of little knights coming at me. And I don't know if these whirlwinds have that.
Not with the loss of reroll to wound.
Yeah, I mean, I could just go Lancer and get my... Basically, I can go double Repulsor Executioner, which I just had up, or I could go double Lancer and then put in another unit of...
A Ballistus?
Well, I could do Ballistus, or I could just straight up put a unit of Dev Squad.
I still like the Grab Can Devastators.
So, like, this is what it looks like. Ready? Gladiator Lancer. Gladiator Lancer. Zoom on up here. Don't worry, everybody. I'll just give you fucking sickness from my Blair Witch cam. And then you just put Grav on these guys. And that's 2,000 points. It's almost like I've made 14 different versions of this list. Thunderhammer, Inferno Pistol, boom. There. Do you like this better with double Lancer and the Dev Squad? It gives me more stuff.
I mean, you like stuff. That's not really surprised you want the Centurion Devastators.
Lancers. Well, I won't be playing Austin on the GW layouts. I'll be playing on player place terrain. This I may, and that's the biggest thing is when you're making a list, you have to look at what terrain you're going to be on. I'll be on player placed, so I will have longer shoot firing arcs for sure.
I mean, you need to. I feel like player place terrain definitely favors shooting armies.
100%, because you can just make things over on that, so it's a big deal on that. Aggressors, yeah, that's why I'm looking at the Lancers, because of the fact that I'm player place terrain. Aggressors on GW terrain, I would make a completely different list, to be honest with you. I would be more aggressive because you can be more aggressive with a GW terrain, 100%.
So what kind of list are you looking at for a GW type event? Because isn't well, you're playing Votan at this event, but isn't Rumble on the Rivers going to be GW styles?
So, but I'd put more. One, the forward deploying unit, I'd make an aggressor unit for sure, and I'd probably try to put somebody in. I'd probably want them running Ultramarines, to be honest with you. I'd actually look at the Firestorm at that point in time. It's funny because I was just talking to Jason M. He's running. He's trying to make Sally's work. So he's got Vulcan, double Captain with double Redeemer with double aggressors is the key part of the main mojo of the list. So it's a big deal. But that is true. I'll be playing Everwinter on GW. So I might actually take Marines there again. And I might still play Vanguard. It would actually look kind of like this. It would just have more aggressive elements. I would do an aggressor squad with some sort of cap. And I'd probably take two more. I do still kind of want to bring some Devastator, not Devastator, but we can not talk. Eradicators. Eradicators are super good for their points. They're only 95 points.
Would you just take a 3 or would you take a 6?
I'd take 3. If I was going to do 6, I'd do 2 3s. But I'd get more up close and personal because you have to create angles. You can't just take long lanes at GW terrain. So it's important to have stuff that can move around more. I like this version a lot. You know what? I'm saving this, guys, because I don't think I saved it before.
You should probably save it.
Dark Angels version 43.
And this is how you just make lists, right? Like you theorize and you play around with
well, what I typically do, to be honest with you, is I theorize first, and you have to go down all the things I just said, which is, do you have enough damage to not be damage checked? Do you have enough trash to score? Do you have enough move block as part of that trash? And sometimes you can't overlap because there's going to be times when you're move blocking and not doing actions with a unit. And then you also have to have who's taking who's basically sitting on the objectives. And I want lone operatives and shit for that. But then what I do is a lot of times I'll make a list. It's not even a lot of times. All of the time, you make a list, go onto either TTS or your home board or the game store or whatever, and deploy it. Look at it, do your first turn, your deployment plus your first turn, and then start making adjustments on that. Because there's going to be a lot of times when you're like, I have all gas, no brakes, and then you realize, oh, I have no trash or no move blocking or not enough, or I don't have enough distance. If you're playing GW train, you just need more movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Austin, the thing is that I took double infiltrator is really nice, but I want to do shenanigans with it. The reason that I have the 2 scout squads is they also forward deploy. So I can do some move blocking on that. So it's a big deal on that. Shower thoughts. How do I move block with GKs? GK has all of the shenanigans in the universe. They just need more damage. So, you know what? I'm going back to Brandon because I'm assuming he's fixed his death cut.
Nope. Oh, it just stopped bleeding. So,
what are you working on now?
I'm building some bases for my suppressors and inceptors.
Now I can move this back in the way.
Because Brad loves suppressors
so much.
Best unit in.
It worked unbelievably hard for me. It was great. I loved it. Fucking didn't
I have 6 of them. Never put them on the table, and we'll probably continue to never put them on the table.
Yours actually have really cool looking stuff too. What? Don't you have like really wild painted? You already have your ones that are painted like not Death Company. How do you
Yeah,
paint out your shit as?
Legion of the Damned.
Legion of the Damned.
Let me go get some.
I was like, say you already have these. I think he's taking drugs. Everyone, we got to get a drug test on Brandon. He doesn't even know where he is right now. Somebody tell me how to make because we're using Skype because I'm an idiot. I only know how to use this. How to get my goddamn name off the Skype thing. I can clip it down, but then it doesn't give me the full window for what he's doing. But I think I'm not going with the Whirlwinds. I think I'm going with the Lancers and the Devs. I would say final answer, but that's a huge lie, and there's no way that I don't also change that 43 more times.
You're totally going to change it 43 more times. So yeah. No, I have 6 guys of plasma, and this past weekend I went to the local game store and they were doing a special where apparently they received a whole bunch of frames. So they were doing all frames in this box for $5. So I saw some of the 8th edition starter set frames and I'm like, I will buy all of them because for $15 I got 3 Inceptors, I got 5 not 5 aggressors, 5 intercessors, 5 hellblasters, a Gravis captain, like for $15. So I'm like, all right, well, let's build them.
Like it.
But yeah, support your local game store because they have cool shit like that.
The other thing is that all right, Todd's trying to get me to run Votan at Everwinter. You get one tournament that I'm going to run Space Dwarves on because they're not real Space Dwarves. They're abhuman bros. True, I might actually put the Whirlwind in there. Yeah, I mean, so we have to decide whether I'm bringing dwarves to Rumble or whether I'm bringing them to Everwinter.
Which one seems more fun on GW Train?
Uh-oh. You have to turn caller ID off in profile picture drop down. All right, I'm going to try to do this. Where do I find profile picture drop down? Now, like, imagine that you're talking to an old person
who's never used the internet before today. Doesn't even know what a computer is.
So, like, do I click on the 3 things in the top left? And it's somewhere in here? Let's find out. Nope, that didn't work at all. That was definitely not it. So, I'm going to try this later, apparently. I'll let you give me step by step because I don't know where the hell I'm going. I feel like this is why people feel like when they talk to an old person on a tech call. Is the computer on?
Yes. Is it plugged in? Did you put your coffee in the CD-ROM tray?
I want to watch you suplex Everwinter, so what's your strongest choice? Strongest choice for me definitely wouldn't be Votan. I don't play enough of it. But I'm willing to play anything.
So regarding the height of the Inceptors, I've never had anyone complain about them, and I've been using them walking like that since they came out. So what, 7th edition?
So what you're trying to say is you've been cheating since the beginning of time.
No, I think flight stands are stupid because they break all the time. Yes, because even this past tournament that Eloise and I went to, she had all of her flying girls on flight stands, and we broke like 7 of them just by moving it across the table, and they just break.
This is why I tell people to not let you touch the models.
Did you see that new AdMech dude that's coming out? The one on stilts.
So stupid. They're literally
Eloise cannot be near that model. She will destroy that model immediately.
They've just been using basically all of the Renaissance Da Vinci drawings as all of what they're doing. I
haven't seen as many memes for that one recently. Yes, I've been cheating with the rule of cool wins out. Yeah, exactly. If I told my opponent, I don't really care because terrain literally comes down to 2 things. Is it obscuring or not obscuring?
You know who doesn't think that?
You don't.
You know who doesn't think that? Gretchen. My grots can hide behind anything. Blade of grass tucked in.
You're getting that cover. You're going to need it.
Yeah, I love it. Karen goes, I think it's a throwback to weird, creepy AdMac. He loves that guy. Eloise and Karen are going to have a duel of whether this model's off or not.
I mean, maybe it's a whole new design philosophy. Maybe they're just going to be putting a lot more stuff on stilts.
It's just stilts. I did get, actually, you know what? I have a good picture. I'm going to bring this up. Hold. It's from Robin Hood, the Disney Robin Hood. You know what? I'm putting this up right now. Screw it. I've got the new AdMac for you guys.
One of the coolest things I actually saw in Europe was somebody took all their flight stands and put them on springs. So anytime they moved their land speeder, we're just springing, boing all over the place. But you never had to worry about breaking the damn thing.
Go boing.
Boing, boing.
All I'm saying is that's the new AdMac model.
All right. I got to wait 30 seconds for you to show me.
It's when he dressed up as a stork to go to the archery contest. And now I've got Bare Necessities in my head. God damn, it's not even the right movie. It's just the Bare Necessities.
So, fun fact, Brad. So the that movie, The Jungle Book, came out first, I believe. They repurposed all the art for Jungle Book to make Robin Hood. So all the characters, if you just do an overlap, did the same thing with costumes.
I like everything about that.
So the fact that it did remind you of The Jungle Book is an accurate statement.
Good times. In the grimdark universe of 40K, there are only stilts. That is true. That GW just stealing Da Vinci drawings to be able to bring them under their IP.
The guy with stilts kind of reminds me of like the old like 1950s, U.S. Army like test ideas to like, oh man, how can we make our soldiers better? And one of them was like giving your soldier with binoculars a hover platform, so he'd be like 50 feet up off the ground on a hover disc, but then everyone could see him. So he wasn't a very effective spotter.
Ooh, you know what? I'm putting a poll up here.
Top 3 Disney. Ooh, you better not let Brittany find out that you're doing this poll.
I'm just gonna have people just straight up just type your answers, not in the poll, obviously, but just put it in chat. Mm-hmm. That is true. Best part of the stilt dude is he's going to be 50-point loan op dude and he'll be on every AdMac army. True story.
Oh, he's totally going to be.
I love that everybody's clicking on the yes nos. I didn't want to list a million options down. All right.
You can't even list a million options. You can only list like 4. So what are your top 3 Disney animated movies?
Mulan, I love. Not that stupid live action recreation, which was no fun whatsoever.
They decided that they just didn't like fun with that one, apparently.
I like The Little Mermaid quite a bit because it was the first. The Disney basically came back into prominence with it. I mean, there's like a lot of really good ones, to be honest with you. I have to think about this, but Mulan's by far my big mojo on that.
Not the Little Mermaid. Not Beauty and the Beast. I feel like that's Brit's favorite.
That's Brit's wildly favorite. She would hit me for not putting it in the top 3.
I know. You better watch out.
I was just about to say Fantasia.
Is she lurking behind you?
Nah, she's at work. Yeah, I agree with you on Fantasia. I actually like to have Fantasia on while I'm doing other things. So I really like it. It's an old man. Robin Hood Goofy movie. I forgot about the Goofy movie. Goofy movie's actually really good too. But I don't know if it makes my top 3.
There are a lot of solid movies that just aren't musicals, so they're not as popular.
I think of the Mojo singing. I like Brave quite a bit, by the way. That movie was badass.
Have you seen Bolt? I really like Bolt.
Oh, with
Mainly,
the dog.
yeah, that one's a good one. I don't. It didn't do as well because it, wasn't a musical, but
Are the Rescuers Disney movies, or is that something?
yes. No, that's
Rescuers and
Disney.
Rescuers Down Under?
Yep. You're thinking, well, at the same time those came out, they had what was it called? Fievel, the American Dream or something.
American Tail.
Yeah, that's it. I knew you would know.
I'm an
Those
animation
came those
nerd.
came out like the same time.
A guy at the tournament was named Ivel, and I just was like, "There's no chance I'm calling you that." All day, all weekend long, I was. This is definitely Fievel. So yeah,
Enchanto. The pressure song broke me.
that was a really good song, but it's also sad. It's just like,
Well,
oh
that's why I said
god,
it. That's why I said it broke him,
it's
Brad.
like I have to go get some therapy.
Get some.
Ratatouille. I don't know if that was Disney.
It was Disney.
It was. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is because it's a freaking. They do the one of the sites. Toy Story. I like Toy Story though. Toy Story 3 with the when you push in Spanish mode, where he does the dances and stuff. Buzz Lightyear was awesome. Some of the old stuff's really nice too, like the Fantasia. I'm gonna watch Snow White again. Hi ho, hi ho.
I
Like I
mean,
said,
that's a normal introduction for you.
it's just me. I'm one of the dwarfs. I'm grumpy. Oh, Tangled was fantastic. Also, I don't know if it makes my tops, but man, the one where they're singing at the bar with all the crazy mercenary dudes. I had a dream. Oh fuck, that was boss mode. I don't remember Spirited Away. I know what it is, but I can't remember the movie off the top of my head.
Eloise loves that movie. She, so I've told you this, Brad, but for our audience, so Eloise is French. So she has seen all the Disney movies in French. And anytime like a Disney song comes on, she just starts busting out in French lyrics. And I'm like, I don't have any idea what you're saying. I know what song you're singing, but I have no idea what you're saying. And it's just it blows my mind every time she just starts singing these songs in a completely different language.
I have to go to the wall here. Johnny, is the reason you now hate orcs and are now abandoning us, leaving us a leaderless wog? No, I love orcs. However, I have the attention span of a 3-year-old, and I have to play a different faction every few months.
He's a bandwagoner. That's what it
Yeah, I'm a
is.
bandwagoner.
He's gonna get orcs. They're gonna get nerfed to hell just because of how he did at 2 tournaments.
Disney is 100% in French, FYI. You'll have to have Air translate for us. I have the campfire stream in the background, to be honest with you. I just make Brandon huge.
I mean, I like the campfire. It's inspirational. It's relaxing. I feel like I should get some hot chocolate.
I mean, watch this. Whoosh, the campfire is always there with
Oh
you.
man, I can practically hear the crackling right now.
The campfire is always here for you.
You know, I should move my hobby desk so it's like right next to my fireplace, down in the nerd room.
I do actually like looking at the fire. I just wanted to make it. People said that they couldn't see what the fuck you were doing, so I want to make sure. Matt, the problem is off meta Eldar list is still listed as Eldar. So like people have PTSD of the Eldar. So the problem is that um yeah, exactly. Orcs are winning and solved. I have to move on to a non I like the wow, I can't even finish the sentence here. But Eldar, people still think it's awful no matter what you bring, so it's hard to bring that and just be fun. Um I do enjoy trying to figure out how I can win with certain factions, and I've done pretty well with orcs right now. I enjoyed playing them quite a bit, and then I kind of want to go to the next problem, which is Marines. So I just try to want to figure out how I can win with certain armies.
Brad just wants a turkey sandwich, and he's just not going to get it
Yeah,
because there's no way you're winning that event with Space Marines.
I'm totally gonna do it.
How many games are you playing? Is it a 3-day or a 2-day?
It's a 3-day tournament. I gotta play
So you got to
8
play.
games.
Yeah, there's zero chance.
I'm gonna make this, and actually that's a lie. I gotta play 9 games because they have a top 8 cut, so it's 6 on a top 8 cut. So I have to win 9 games.
You have to win 9 games in a row with Space Marines on player place terrain.
I can do this.
I think you could do well. I think you'll go 7-2.
So many. I can't even go 7-2. I get eliminated at that point. Then
I don't know how it works.
I can go 8-1. Is what you're saying of that? Basically, I'll stop playing as soon as I'm not winning. I mean, you go into the finals.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I want you to be successful. I want a reason to put Marines on the table. I'm not feeling it. Not digging it. It could be because they killed half my army, but it could also be because they just seem very flavorless, even with the new detachments.
I think I made this work. I do really like my orc army that I just took this weekend, by the way. I think that's my final answer for orcs.
And what was in that list?
Sorry, I got the $10 that Brad gets to round 5 before this was a big mistake text just fired my orc list was Mazrog, Captain Badrock with flash kits in a truck. I took a paint boy and a war boss. I think I'll just take both war bosses after literally whiffing like nobody's business against freaking Lyle because I didn't get the +1. I'm back. So double war boss with double knobs in trucks, 3 units of storm boys. Why am I blanking? 2 units of Gretchen and some other stuff.
Perfect.
What the hell else did I have in my army? I feel like I'm missing things. Oh yeah,
it's almost as if you have battle scribed like right
whatever. 2 units of 3 Squigog boys, a unit of 6 Squigog boys with a knob on smash a swing, knob on smash a squig with kill Wumpa. So
now you're 20, just making up. 20 now you're just making up words.
I mean, it's orcs. You're always making up words.
With kill Wampa.
20 knobs. Kill head Wampa kill Choppa.
What? This is imaginary. I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, and the war boss literally has 9 attacks plus an attack squig on the walk. He's nuts. He's also strength 11. So yeah, I love that list. That is the best orc list I've put on the board since I've been playing orcs. It felt really, really good. It's just sometimes really freaking hard to deal with open boards. So that's the one downside to orcs.
I think I'd be more interested in playing orcs and Space Marines at the moment.
Probably. I mean, you can make some really aggressive intro. The list I just played.
I don't even know if I'm that aggressive of a player, but it just seems to happen sometimes.
Well, no. The thing is that you on GW train, they're bonkers down. It's got a core demon in it. True story. But yeah, I love playing them. I had a great time playing them. I'm actually really happy that I picked up playing orcs again. It's like every edition I play orcs at least once. Yeah, in a big tournament. I just kind of wander around with them. And then I want to make it basically I have to play Marines because I told you I was going to play Marines and I want to prove it to you that I could win the tournament.
I'm so ready. Let me know. When is round 5? Is that going to be Saturday?
It's going to be Saturday.
So, and you're going to be 3 hours behind. So at about 3 p.m., you're going to send me a text message.
Oh my God, it'll be so late. Look at it. It doesn't count if I go to the hospital. If I just straight die at the tournament, it's not my fault.
You're gonna die because Space Marines are that bad, and we're gonna be like, ooh.
No, I never take fakes with orcs. It's just they're so easy to score tactical on. I have so much trash all over the place. Trucks are like wildly amazing for scoring objectives too. Because after the guys get out, you just drive around. You're just wandering about the field, just doing actions and shit.
Mm.
So what are you going to make? Are these going to look like the other ones?
Yeah. So how I like to do my bases, just for my personal army, I like to have every single squad have their own unique look. based on whether it's the color, what building materials I'm using, what like kind of scene I'm building into the display board. So since I have three-man squads that I'm working on right now, they're all going to be kind of similar, and there'll be slight visual identifiers so I know how to identify the squads. Because Legion of the Damned aren't really known for taking, chapter markings. I'll play as Chad Brester. So, Brad, are you excited for the ATC circuit? That's the team tournaments where there's like 4 of them all over the place.
Yeah, it's just hard to get everybody where I want to go. But yes, I want to support the team tournament circuit hardcore because I love team events more than I like anything else. Also,
so which ones do you want to go to?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I'm gonna bring my Allen team multiples, and then I'm gonna bring a separate team for some of the others. Go full beer fest style. I've tried to. People aren't as happy when I try to go full beer fest style. Well, the yeses won out of the poll.
I'm proud of everybody who voted yes on that poll.
Oh. Give me some promote yourself out there, my friend. Then we're gonna do the Queen's Wave and we're gonna rock and roll.
All right. I'm Brandon Valley with Stillfrosty Gaming. I didn't show you these, Brad. I got these new like holographic stickers now. I'm so excited to put these everywhere.
Nice.
But you can check me out on stillfrostygaming.com or Stillfrosty Gaming YouTube channel. We've been putting up a lot of tutorials on how to build certain projects and certain models. Eloise has been yelling at me to record everything, so I've tried to record more stuff. It's amazing how much more I record when I get yelled at. And I will not be jumping on the Space Marine bandwagon until Brad proves me wrong. So, Brad, you got to prove me wrong.
I'm going to try to prove you wrong. Coming up November 3rd, I will be out. I have that. You know what? I've never been to San Diego. I've been everywhere else in California, just not there.
Are you taking some time to actually like acclimate to the time change?
No, God, no. That would be makes sense.
Brad's going to take at least 2 units of suppressors.
There's no chance. Put your hand in the middle and Queen's Wave us out of here.
Actually, I guess it'd be like that. I don't know. Whatever.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for